Dependence of A, dependence of B in the relationship. That is, A can be the supplier, B can be the manufacturer, or any other way. Okay. Now, interdependence and dependency are distinct but related. We use Kumar et al.'s definition of interdependence and to create the domain. Okay. If you look at the point A, as you can see, there is no interdependence or dependent asymmetry. There is no interdependence, therefore dependent asymmetry is not defined. At this point, there is no interdependence, therefore dependent asymmetry is not defined. At this point, at that point B, there is total interdependence and dependent asymmetry is not possible. In other words, it is zero. Right? Now, this is a line of zero dependent asymmetry. There is interdependence, but dependent asymmetry is zero. Okay, in that line. Now, this is what we call the non-interdependent like region. That is, when interdependence is less than 1. See, the interdependence has a range of 0 to 2. Dependent asymmetry has got a range of 0 to 1. Because dependence plus dependence is interdependence. Dependence minus dependence is dependent asymmetry. Okay. So, interdependence of 1 and above we refer to as interdependent like region, that is, and this is the non-interdependent like region. This A is a unilateral dependent of actor A. In other words, actor B has no dependence. Actor A is totally dependent on the relationship. Similarly, the unilateral dependent of B. Okay. So this is the space, okay, in which all the hypotheses are going to be in this space. We are going to specify hypothesis here, hypothesis along this line, in this region, right? Okay. Now,
sir, how we are measuring this dependence? Is it in terms of the amount of business, or what is the unit?
so the measurement comes later. This is pure theory development. It's hypothesis development. Yeah, we are developing the hypothesis. We have developed the measurement, but it's not in this paper. Okay, that's why I said we want to collect field data, we want to do laboratory experiment. So we have developed an instrument to measure. So we want to collect data based on that. Okay. You say, how do you measure dependent asymmetry? Yes, we have an instrument with which we'll measure. Okay. But here the whole thing we are doing is to develop hypotheses that we want to test. So, social exchange theory talks about patterns of interdependence. There are three types of controls that can happen. One is called bilateral reflexive control, the preference of an actor without regard to any contingencies. This is a measure of the intrinsic preference of the actor. In other words, this is my preference, I don't care what you want. That bilateral reflexive control. Okay. Then we have mutual fate control. There is something I do that will affect you and you can't do a thing about it. There is something you do that will affect me, I cannot do anything about it. Okay, we are talking about a dyad in a supply channel, right? That's where we are going to measure it. That's our context. So, a manufacturer can do certain things, the supplier cannot do anything about it, but they have to face the consequences of it in the exchange process. Similarly, other way around. Then, the third one is mutual behavior control. This is the desire of both the parties in the dyad for coordination. Determine